With the rumors and the eventual reveal of the PlayStation State of Play, there was a piece of news that slipped under the radar for a lot of people, including myself. About 4 days ago, Xbox and 100 Star Studios confirmed that they would be partnering together. If you don't know, 100 Star is a 100-person team based out of London that pretty much is just inspired to make AAA really nice action-adventure-esque games. Now you might be thinking, I don't know what the hell 100 Star is. Why should I care? Well, you should care because the studio was formed by two pretty small individuals, I admit, Sefton Hill and Jamie Walker, or, the two people that pretty much co-founded Rocksteady and the Batman Arkham trilogy. Hill and Walker left Rocksteady pretty much, I want to say, was it a year ago? A little bit over a year ago? I'm really not sure when, but it was right before the Suicide Squad game got its huge 9-month pushback. So as a AAA studio, it has been learned that they're officially working on their first project, which is going to be a AAA standard single-player action-adventure game built in Unreal Engine 5. Not much is known about the project other than the studio partnered with Xbox Game Studios, and the Xbox Game Studios is financing this project. So that's a pretty big collaboration, in my opinion. The article that I'm going to be referencing in this video is saying that it's likely going to be an Xbox platform exclusive, which basically means it would be an Xbox and PC exclusives. However, with the recent developments at Xbox, personally, I believe it's going to be more like the Arkham games where it's made for all platforms. Unless Xbox has a huge switch up with exclusivity here within the next year or so, I highly doubt that this game and this studio is going to develop solely for Game Pass and Xbox systems. Basically, 100 Star was created for Hill and Walker to basically just form another Rocksteady studio, but with good development. I don't want to say that. That sounds really mean. Essentially, they took some of the closest devs that they had at Rocksteady, about 20 or more, and took them over to what they started, which I think is a pretty cool move. It's a pretty smart tactic in my opinion. They're looking to be only about 100 people, which I think is probably a pretty good size for a AAA studio. I mean, AAA games, the title of being a AAA studio has been kind of washed over the last few years. It really doesn't mean that much anymore. And obviously they did have the recent stint with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Now, we don't really know what departments that the devs that they took from Rocksteady are coming from. We don't really know all too much about Hill and Walker's touch on Suicide Squad, let's say. It kind of looks like the only articles I can find are talking about when the two left in 2022. So I'm not too sure what exactly Hill and Walker did for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Hopefully not much. Hopefully not that much. And I mean, by the sounds of the article that I've been reading for this video, I mean, it doesn't really seem like they would have had that much because they're already going back to making an action-adventure single-player game. Now, a lot of people want to jump to the conclusion that it's going to be a superhero game, and I'm kind of in that camp where I can really see them doing something with a Marvel character more atoned to Daredevil, just because that's where their roots are, right? Like the closest hero to Batman in terms of what the gameplay would look like, in terms of what the stealth would look like, in terms of what maybe even the character themselves would feel like, is probably Daredevil. You can make arguments for other characters, don't get me wrong, and there definitely is a lot of other characters that they could choose from. A lot of people are saying that they might do a Superman game, which would be really funny and really poetic if the second they leave Rocksteady, they go to make a long wanted and really cried for by the fans game in Superman. So they said that even though the studio itself kind of surfaced in 2024, that it was actually operational since 2023, and that would make sense because, like I said, Hill and Walker did leave Rocksteady kind of near the end of 2022, right before the big delay of Suicide Squad. So that would make a lot of sense, and hopefully it has given them enough time to really find their footing, because in my opinion, when you're creating a studio, especially a studio for creating a video game, you want your devs to want to work on the game. You don't want to create an environment like Riot Games, for example. You really want to create a space for people to just be themselves and want to work there. Wanting to go to work is one of the best things ever because you get people's most passionate sides out of them by doing that. And I think that they're probably going to create an environment like that, and hopefully they have, because then we could hopefully get games more attuned to the Arkham games instead of Suicide Squad or Gotham Knights. That would be cool. I know Rocksteady didn't work on Arkham Knights, okay? It's a joke. We're kidding here. Okay, we're all friends here. But in all seriousness, I think this is a great move. I think this is great by Xbox. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I would do the same thing. I would trust Hill and Walker and whatever studio that they left Rocksteady to build. And on top of that, they just have a good track record. I mean, obviously, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League would be a little bit of a stain on that track record, depending on who you ask. And by depending on who you ask, I mean the majority of people who bought the game. Let me know what you think about this kind of acquisition, partnership in the comment section down below. It would be cool to talk about it, I guess. I mean, this doesn't really change anything for me. I still think Xbox is a mess, and I think with the most recent state of play, PlayStation is also a mess. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like on it. If you want to see my reaction to the state of play, go ahead and click on the video here, or just subscribe, or click on random videos. Who knows? Who really cares anymore?